It all started out with a single tweet. Hey, I don't know what K-pop is really about. Let me know when there's a show we can watch one.
Trying to watch my Wonho. Okay, cat, you seriously cannot be on the desk. Seriously. Oh.
So yeah, in an effort to learn new things this year, I decided I was going to try out K-pop. Follow me on this. Get off the tripod. Okay, cat, I'm gonna hold you. So Katharine on Twitter always gushes endlessly about K-pop and BTS and all these other bands I've never heard of. So I told her, I think it was back in January, I told her in January, I was like, I want to watch a K-pop concert live just once in my life, right? And I'm not gonna, I live in Cincinnati, so they're never gonna come to Cincinnati. Certainly not BTS, right? They're like a New York, LA kind of a band. And she said that she would send me a link to a concert that we could both watch, a really big one. Tonight's the night. I bought the tickets weeks ago. So we're watching on this channel called livexlive.com. And we're watching the Wonho special live We Need Love, or hashtag We Need Love. Everything's hashtag. Hashtag cat. Oh, whoa. So we're going to pet our cat like James Bond. Yeah, this, I've never listened to probably more than 5 minutes of K-pop. And that was just like I clicked on something on Spotify, like, what is this about? And I like, you listen to it and you're like, I don't get it. I imagine that there's not going to be handsome men. I imagine there's going to be very pretty men. There's a big difference between handsome and pretty. Like, handsome's like, man, that's a good looking guy. Pretty is like, we could probably take this guy in a fight, but you won't because he's just too pretty. What is it with all the K-pop guys? And they just look like they're like, are they like supermodels that became singers, or are they singers that just happen to also look good? It's really weird. All I know is I got my first COVID vaccine yesterday. So the nurse was very specific about drinking a lot of water and fluid this weekend. So I have a cooler of beer over here that is all Bud Light. Oop, 48 seconds. Countdown. Turn it up. Check this out. I turned on closed captioning. It just says music playing. So right now in the concert, he's doing a Q&A session and someone submitted a dance and he's trying to do a dance. It's actually kind of funny watching him live try to mimic a dance. Not so good when he's not choreographed. So I did, I did compare this to the last concert that I went to, which was Dropkick Murphys versus Wonho. So far, Wonho is winning on the dudes on stage 7-6. Dropkick Murphys, however, has a little bit more intensity. He's intense, but Dropkick Murphys, let's be honest, that's more intense. Looks good in shorts. Wonho has this clinched. Dropkick Murphys do not look good in shorts. However, they are handsome, but he's also handsome. He's pretty, and they're not pretty. And of course, the Bud Light is the concert beer of choice, whereas there it's Guinness or Harps. Good choice. And urge to start a mosh pit? So far, 0 for the Wonho. Whereas, you know, it's required. It's the law at Dropkick Murphys. And so far, Dropkick Murphys are winning in the kilts category, but there's still time left in this concert, so in his QA session, all of his followers are called Weenies, W-E-N-E-E. Out of context, that sounds hilarious. I'll put the description below of why he calls them weenies. He's trying to explain to people how he loves car camping. This is an interesting concert. Well, it is now the next day. I had to sleep on it, really think about some of this stuff with this whole K-pop concert. One thing I will admit right off the bat is it was completely different than what I thought it would be. I was totally prepared for just like, you know, pretty boy band singing and screaming people, and that was not the case. Obviously, it was a virtual concert because I haven't been to a concert in quite a while. It was quite a while before COVID took off, and then now that, you know, stuff's banned. So I wasn't sure what to expect with a virtual concert. Now, having said that, most of the concerts I've been to have just been, you know, walls of noise and screaming crowds. But, you know, you really get this like audio visual experience to go along with the music, which is nice. This, on the other hand, it was like a really planned event. It was live, as far as I could tell, but in between songs, they would do like a Q&A. Yeah, some of the questions were a little odd, but they were all almost like softball questions, to where, you know, it was an easy question, but it was fun to watch the artist struggle a little bit. Wonho. So most bands, you don't get this like one-on-one interaction with the artist, which is just fascinating to look at, because you can see how the K-pop just sort of sucks you right in. People really feel like the artist cares for them directly, and it's not the other way around, right? With a traditional band, people care for the artist, but, you know, the artist, you know, they're like, oh, we love you, you know, but they don't really, you know. They just see fans as money makers, right? So from a sociological standpoint, it was fascinating to really sit back and just sort of like tear this whole thing apart. So K-pop artists, from what I could tell, are sort of expected to project this pure image to satisfy their fans' fantasies, I guess is the best way to put it, which seems to be the appeal. Clearly the artist is like really talented. They have really good singing and dancing talent, and they're very good looking, but they're expected to act that way all day. They have this like idol attitude where they sit comfortably on pedestals all day. Now they're planned, groomed pedestals from their management, but the entire industry appears to be built up completely to satisfy the fans' expectations, from what I could see, and not make the artists just like good old-fashioned like rock star people who put out an album, they tour, and then they just go back into hiding, right? The K-pop people, it's like a full-time job, all day, every day. You're sort of expected to be streaming or talking to fans or doing fan meetups or traveling, doing, you know, all sorts of stuff. So the concert and fan meet experiences are basically really good examples of this, right? Where the attending audience member is literally made to feel like that golden ticket holder on Willy Wonka. Like, you're the special chosen person, right? You get to peer behind the curtain into the artist's life, but even though it's like you're made to feel like you're special, you're still just like one in a million people watching. And I'm not saying that to put you down, but like, it's like, unlike any other experience with any normal artist, like the K-pop artist, when the way that they project that experience, you truly feel like you're the chosen one. So you could totally see how it just hooks people and just drags them in. Like I said, it's not to say they don't have any talent. They're very talented people. So one thing I can, a little bit concerning is that you're now seeing more and more backlash of artists where they either stray slightly from the formula, and the fans sort of reject like their deviation from their path, right? And because of that, like, the artist will then issue an apology for blah blah blah. It could be something as silly as like dyeing their hair a different color or something, and nobody likes it. But it's like, as soon as that happens, they always have this like, from what I could see, like, the artist will like issue an apology and then they'll change back. But it's this weird, like, hive mind symbiotic relationship that sort of makes K-pop just so different and fascinating to look into, because it's like the fans almost consider the artist like their personal best friend, or sometimes even their boyfriend, right? To some extent. Of course, the downside of all of this is that more and more you're seeing articles about artists suing their management companies to break free of contracts, and it's because they're micromanaged all day long to fit this like idol status that they just they can't take it. So you're like, mentally at some point, hopefully it doesn't cause like burnout in the industry, right? Or even worse, right? No one deserves to sort of operate or work full-time under like a subservient conditions, either financially or contractually. But yeah, by fitting these artists into this like godlike idol status, it does kind of appear like they're slightly restrained. And it'd be interesting to see a completely unbound artist just go nuts, right? Where would their talent take them without the grooming management behind them, right? Would the fans love it, or would or would they just like fade, right? Like, is it the grooming of the management style that really elevate the whole package, or is it, how much of it is the real raw talent of the artist? But it'd be interesting to find that out at some point, but time will tell. So okay, well, I'm old, so I'm gonna go listen to some more Gangnam Style. Been an interesting experience. I think I've been invited to be on a podcast. I'll link below if that happens. So yeah, I'm gonna put this video out today. Thanks for watching, and everybody, go listen to some K-pop. Bye-bye.